All right, welcome back. The Super Bowl is finally here. And honestly, it all comes down to one huge, massive question. What are you more afraid of? The perfectly oiled machine? Or that one unpredictable spark of genius that can burn the whole thing down? Let's get into it. So yeah, the whole debate really just boils down to this one thing. If you're a defensive coordinator trying to game plan for the biggest game of your life, who's keeping you up at night? Is it Seattle's Sam Darnold, who's steering this absolute juggernaut of an offense? Or is it New England's Drake Maye, the guy whose individual talent can just wreck any scheme you draw up? Okay, so let's start with Seattle. Now, the argument here isn't just about Sam Darnold. Not at all. It's about the entire overwhelming force of the Seahawks offense. We're talking about a game plan that's built on just pure collective dominance, where every single piece of the machine is a legit weapon. And look, this point of view isn't coming from just anybody. That's a quote from Cam Jordan, the Saints defensive end. This is a guy who had to line up and play against both of these quarterbacks this season. So when he says he's thinking totality, he's telling you it's not about the one guy, it's about the whole dang army you have to face. And this right here is what totality looks like on the field. I mean, Darnold is not out there by himself. He's got monsters like Kupp and JSN out wide. He's got Kenneth Walker tearing it up in the backfield. You saw what they did to the Rams, right? This offense was so good, so dominant, that it forced a superstar like Matthew Stafford to go into a crazy shootout, and Darnold was the one who walked away with the win. And this is maybe the biggest point. This is not the same old Sam Darnold that we used to talk about. Not even close. Throughout these playoffs, he has completely proven he can stand tall in the pocket, he can take a monster hit and still deliver the most important passes. He's not just some game manager anymore. He's the guy lifting the entire system up when it counts the most. He's the leader, not just a passenger along for the ride. But then, you've got the other side of the argument. And this side says that all that beautiful system planning, all those schemes, they go right out the window the second you have to face a player like Drake Maye. This isn't about the system. This is about one guy's singular, unbelievable, game-breaking talent. You know, just try to think about this like you're a defensive coordinator for a second. You can drop a plan against a pocket passer. You have a good idea of where he's going to be. But a guy like Maye, he's just pure chaos. The moment a play breaks down, that is when he's at his most deadly. His athleticism doesn't just bend your game plan, it completely shatters it. So, what's with the number 125? Well, that is Drake Maye's rushing total in the playoffs. On just, get this, 9 carries. That is almost 14 yards every single time he decides to take off and run. This guy isn't just a quarterback who can scramble a little bit, he's a legit home run threat on the ground, who can flip the entire game on its head with his legs alone. And this is so key to understanding the Patriots. They haven't been cruising, they haven't been blowing teams out, they have been winning these tight, ugly, gritty games. They are living on the absolute edge. And the number one reason they've even survived to this point is Drake Maye's wild ability to make the play when everything else has completely fallen apart. I mean, you can see his whole process right here. It's a total nightmare for a defense. First, it starts with the escape, right? He uses his legs to get away from what should have been a sack. Then he extends the play, turning a disaster into a huge opportunity. And finally, he executes, somehow, someway, finding a guy for a first down or making the game-winning throw himself. We saw it against Denver. We saw it against Houston. He is the ultimate problem you can't solve. Okay, so we've got 2 completely different quarterbacks, 2 different styles. But to really truly get this matchup, we have to look at the road they took to get here. Because trust me, the kind of competition they had to face tells a huge part of this story. Now, this right here is the main argument for why the Patriots are so battle-tested. The whole idea is that they have survived an absolute monster of a schedule, an absolute gauntlet, and that's forced them to be tougher and maybe more resilient than the Seahawks have even had to be. And just take a look at this list. I mean, come on, they had to go up against a Denver defense that people were calling the best in the entire league for most of the year. Then they faced a Chargers team with a truly elite pass rush, and then they took down a Houston Texans team that was on a historical defensive run. They've played the best of the best, and they're still standing. But hang on a second. Before we go ahead and crown the Patriots as these giant killers, there is a massive counter-argument here. Did they really beat these teams at their best? Or did they get, let's say, a pretty significant amount of help along the way? Because this is where that context becomes so important. The Chargers, they were missing both of their starting tackles. The Texans, they didn't have their star receiver, Nico Collins. The Broncos started a backup quarterback in a blizzard. And CJ Stroud for the Texans just had an absolute meltdown, throwing 4 picks in the first half alone. So you really have to ask yourself, how much of New England's success was them, and how much was just pure dumb luck? And hey, while we're scrutinizing New England's path, let's not pretend Seattle's is totally perfect either. They've got their own questions to answer. Get this, they haven't played a team from outside of their own division since December. They've just been beating up on teams they already know inside and out. So, does that mean they're actually untested? Are they ready for a completely foreign scheme like what New England is going to throw at them? So, after all that, what does this mean for the Super Bowl? Well, it sets up this absolutely fascinating clash. And it's not just 2 teams going at it. It's 2 completely different philosophies on how you win a championship. On one side, you have the Seattle Seahawks. This is the Darnold path. We're calling it offensive totality. You win because your system is just better, your weapons are more elite, and you execute your game plan without a single mistake. It's about overwhelming your opponent with your collective, unstoppable strength. And then on the other side, you got the New England Patriots. This is the Mayo path, and it's all about individual brilliance. You know your team has some flaws, you accept it. But you win because you have one guy whose talent is so special, so incredible, that he can literally erase all those flaws with these moments of pure, unscripted, unbelievable magic. And so that is the ultimate question as we head into the biggest game of the entire year. Which philosophy is going to come out on top? Is it the perfectly designed, flawlessly run system? Or is it that one-of-a-kind player who can just create something incredible out of absolutely nothing? I guess we're all about to find out.